Hi everyone. In this video we'll talk about how to calculate percentages very quickly in your mind. I'll start with the very basic numbers and then slowly we'll go to the more complicated ones. So let's start with the 40 for example. So if I have 40 and I want to get 20% of this number, right? So the traditional way is I'll take 40 multiply by 20 divide by 100 and the answer will be equal to 8, right? So you can, if you look at it, it's basically 4 and 2, right? So you could have just multiplied 4 and 2. If you let's say 4 multiply 2, that's equal to 8. So the answer is 8. But then we are worried about the zeros because there are zeros and we have to cancel out all the zeros. But just think about it. If you have 8, it could be 80, it could be 8, or it could be 0.8. We know that we have to multiply them, right? So if we are doing any mistake with the zeros, then these are the three possibilities. So 80 is not possible because that's too far. So let me close that. So this is a much higher number. So 20%, we know that it has to be smaller than 40, right? And if you look at 0.8, that's too small of a number. 20% is like 1/5 of a number and 0.8 is too small. So we have to have 8, right? So if we don't worry about the zeros, first of all, we can do this calculation very quickly without thinking about zeros, right? For example, if I have to say 22% of 30, so the answer will be equal to 6.6. What I did, I just multiply 22 and 30, right? So 22 and 30, I'll get 660, and I know that 660 is not possible, 66 is not possible, 6.6 is possible, 0.66 is not possible, right? So it has to be 6.6. Or if you're good about it, you can also cancel the zeros by yourselves. So this is one thing. Now when we are looking at more complicated numbers, for example, if I have 61%, right, and I need to calculate 61% of 30, so how will I do that? In that case, what I can do is I can say 60% plus 1% of 30, right? So what is 60% of 30? 66 into 3, 18, plus what is the 1%? 1% is 0.3. So that will be equal to 18.3. So that is the answer, right? So again, let me give you one more example. If I have 43% of say 25, then how will I calculate that? In that case, I can say 40% plus 3% of 25. So 40% of 25, so 425, that is 10, and 3%, so 3 into 25, 0.75. So the answer is 10.75. So it's how you work or imagine these numbers in your brain. So if you practice, you should be able to quickly do that. So let's take one more example. If I have 66 and I need to take 21% of 66, so that's a bit complicated, but let's see. So we have to say 66 into multiply by 20% plus 1%, right? So 66 into 22, that's 132, right? So that should be equal to 13.2 plus 1%, that's easy, 0.66. So we have to add them together and the answer will be 13.86%. Now mind you that right now we are splitting the percentage, right? We don't always have to split the percentages, we can also split the number itself. So let me do this way. So 60 plus 6 into 21, right? So in that case we can just say 60 into 21, that is equal to 21. So 2 into 1, 26, and then this is equal to 21%, right? So 21%, so that is 12.6, and this is 1.26. So we can add them together and that will be equal to 13.86%. So this is only about how you are making the calculation easier, right? So I hope this video will help. This is not a trick, this is just a way of you imagining calculations in your mind and being able to do them faster. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.